Temperance. There is a moment, you know the one, the room tilt towards you. Someone has crossed a line, and you have every right to bring the full weight of your authority down on it. The words are loaded. Your hand is on the trigger, and you don't fire. Not because you're weak, not because you're afraid, because you measured the terrain, and you decided the moment didn't call for everything you had. You held the line with a fraction of your force, and it was enough. That decision has a name. It's called temperance. And it is one of the most misread strengths a leader can carry. What it actually is. Temperance is not restraint for its own sake. It's not the quiet, swallowed silence of a woman who's been told to shrink. That interpretation out right now. It doesn't belong to you. Temperance is three things working as one. It's self-governance, the discipline to command yourself before you command anyone else. It's balance, the steadiness to hold your footing when competing pressures pull at you from every direction. And its measured power, strength that knows exactly how much of it to deploy and chooses not to spend a round more. Think of it the way you would think of a seasoned commander. The untested one empties the magazine at every threat. The seasoned one knows that power held in reserve is still power. Often it's more. Where in your leadership are you firing everything you have when a measured response would hold the same ground? How it gets withheld. Here's what they don't tell you. Temperance gets weaponized against women in leadership, and it gets denied to us in the same breath. When a man holds his fire, he's disciplined, strategic, a steady hand. When you hold yours, you're passive. When a man balances competing demands, he's a master juggler. When you do it, you're spread too thin. And when you deploy measured power, exactly the right amount, no more. They call it cold, calculating, hard to read. So the system sets a trap. Show too much force, and you're aggressive. Show temperance, and you're either weak or you're cold. There's no clean lane. That's not an accident. That's how authority gets withheld from the people who threaten the existing order. And the cruelest part, many of us internalize it. We learn to confuse temperance with self-erasure. We hold back not as a measured command decision, but out of fear of the penalty. That's not temperance. That's a leash someone else is holding. Why you? And why it's not weakness? You are likely trained to read this strength as a deficit. Let me reframe the terrain. Temperance is the opposite of weakness. Weakness is having no control over your own response. Weakness is the leader who detonates because she couldn't govern herself, or the one who vanishes because she never built the spine to choose. Temperance sits between two failures. It is the deliberate center. It takes strength to hold power in reserve than to spend it. Anyone can react. It takes a commander to decide. When you measure your response, when you balance the moment and govern yourself and deploy exactly what's required, you are doing the hardest work leadership asks of anyone. That's not you holding back. That's you in full command. The leadership impact. When you lead with temperance, the chain of command around you steadies. People read it instantly, even when they can't name it. They know you won't overreact. They know you won't collapse. They know that whatever lands on your desk, your response will be proportionate to the threat. No more, no less. That predictability is power. A team that trusts your judgment under pressure will follow you into terrain they never enter behind a volatile leader. Your composure becomes their cover. And when the real moment comes, when full force is required, your reserve means you have it. The leader who spends everything on small fights has nothing left for the decisive one. You will. That's the dividend temperance pays. How to take it back? Reclaiming temperance starts with separating the real thing from the counterfeit. Run this check. First, before you respond, name the actual threat level. Is this a class or is this a? Is this class or is this the hill? Most of what provokes us is a class. Match your force to the size of the fight. Second, govern yourself first. Take the pause, one breath, the space between stimulus and response is where your authority lies. Claim it deliberately. Don't let the moment claim it for you. Third, distinguish a command decision from a leash. Ask yourself, am I holding back because I measured this and chosen restraint? Or am I holding back because I'm afraid of the penalty? The first is temperance. The second is something to break. Fourth, keep your reserve visible to yourself. You are not being passive. You are holding power in hand, deciding moment by moment how much to deploy. That framing changes everything. What it feels like to stand in it. It feels like steadiness, not numbness, steadiness. The ground holds under you when it's shifting for everyone else. It feels like the quiet confidence of a leader who is never surprised by her own reaction because she governs it. It feels like walking out of a charged room knowing you gave exactly what the moment required and not 1 ounce more. And the work got done. It feels like power you can finally trust because the hand on it is your own. From the coaching chair, I worked with a leader I'll call Diane. 2 decades into a career, she built brick by brick. And she came to me convinced she had a temper problem. Every challenge to her authority, she met at full force. She'd win the moment and lose the room. She was exhausted, and she was starting to believe the label they hung on her, volatile. We didn't work on suppression. Suppression would have just built the counterfeit. We worked on measurement. Threat level first, pause second, match the force to the fight. The shift wasn't that Diane went quiet. The shift was that she went deliberate. She stopped spending her full authority on every conflict and started holding it in reserve for the fights that decided things. Her came steady. Her own exhaustion lifted. And the next time a genuine line was crossed, she had every bit of her power intact, and she brought it cleanly, proportionately. Nobody called her volatile after that. They called her formidable. She didn't get smaller. She got command of herself. That's temperance. Final reflection. Temperance is not the absence of power, it's the mastery of it. Self-governance, balance, measured force, held as one in your own hand. Sit with those 2 questions before you go. Where have you been spending your full authority on disputes that never deserved it? And what might steady around you if you simply held your power in reserve and trusted yourself to know when to use it? Closing. This is Forsight. I see you, and I see you next time.